Hey folks, so I am releasing my enhancement profit calculator. This is automated using the API for the game. So the first thing you want to do when you're going to go copy this is your file, make a copy. You can't make any edits to the actual thing itself without making a copy, so you're doing your own version. When you do make a copy, make sure that you do import this script, because if you don't, it's not going to work. I don't need to make a copy because obviously it's mine. So I'm going to go through everything that you need to do to set it up to start off with, and then I'll get into basically how it works. So first things first, you want to be going into prices, setting it up for your region and your language. And make sure when you put in your language, you're going to be using the names exactly as they're supposed to be on this, like in-game. Capitalization is important as well. I'll just quickly show that off here. So if I was to uncapitalize the E from Narc Ear Accessory, breaks. Capitalize it back, it will work again. And then the second thing that I wouldn't say it's essential to do. You don't need to edit it, but basically Elster's fail stack designer is something that I'm using for this now. Is a case of you change your cost to your blackstones, your concentrated blackstones, set your base chance. So this is for your enhancement chance with the plus 1, 2, 3 from doing quests up to plus 5. Then you select what's the stack that you're starting on. For example, 30, 25, 20, the ones that you buy, these ones. And then this will show you the number of stacks that you have up to 240. Obviously, it depends what you're aiming for, but I've put it up to 240 just so that this can show off the costs. And then in the actual calculator, new maths can be ignored for now, it's not important. That will basically, you get which one is for the duo, try, tet, and pen. So this is the 40 stack, 44 stack, 110 stack, and 240 stack. I'll write them on there before I release this video, don't worry. And basically, the one that's closest to it is the price that you want to get from here. It'll change for you, obviously. So these are the prices for me. It's not exactly accurate because I do use Valk's Cry on Tet, so my Tets are a bit cheaper. But the next thing that you need to look at doing, this bit's not actually that important anymore. It is used for my pride part, but I might remove it. We'll see. But anyway, so the next thing you need to do is set your tax, because let's say you do not have a value pack, you can only really make profit on Cagdom submission rings at that point. So always run a value pack, and obviously try and make sure you've got as much family fame bonus as possible to get your market tax. This was a thing that I was just checking with Manos. Manos, the maths is a bit different, so it works weirdly. But basically, the Manos necklace is a loss for enhancing, but that's not important. So with this, so basically, this is the cost on the market from the prices from the Warflash's public price sheet. So that's using the API. These are the actual prices. So this is basically the in-game number for the accessory that you type the name in accurately. So this is like the in-game item ID. This is the cost of the base. This is the cost of pry, duo, try, tet, pen. Over here is the value divided by a million, just to make it look easier to look at. It's like 86.5 million, 181 million. It's much easier that way. It looks nicer to read anyway. So this is the base cost. This is the price. It says sell, but basically it's how much it's like average prices on the market. So then duo, try, tet, pen. Now these ones here are if you were to make it yourself. Now I'm not sure what I'm trying to connect to. I don't know what's going on there. I think it's the basically price updates. But anyway, so this is if you were to make it yourself. So if I was to make a Pryoga ring, I'd buy 2 bases, and then that's my success chance, and that's the cost of the fail stack. Now, this is saying it's more expensive for me to make a pry than it would be to buy it off the market. So therefore, I'd want to be buying my prize off the market if I was going for profit. Obviously, there's no profit here, but I haven't got to that. So then Duo, what it does is goes, okay, so if it's cheaper to buy it off the market, you buy that off the market and the base off the market, and this is how much it will cost to make it to Duo. Now this is cheaper than Duo. So for the try, what it does is, right, okay, so it's cheaper to make your duos. So if it's cheaper to make your duos, you go, we do make our own duo from buying the Pry, and then we buy a base and we upgrade it. And this is like the average cost of making it to a try. So on average, it's better to make buy your Pry and make that up to a try. That's cheaper because then when you use that try to make a tet, you make 100 million. Whereas if you're buying it off the market, it's another 200 million more expensive to buy your tries off the market. So that would be loss. Now, this auto updates the colors. So if it's red, it's loss. If it's green, it's profit. At least over this side, this is, if it's red, it's like more expensive to make it than it is to buy it off the market. So that's the rundown on that bit. So this bit, you can basically just quickly look, is it green? Green's profitable. So I'd make 3.5 million profit on ethereal rings, making them from base to Pry. But if you look, you can make it all the way up to Tet, profit all the way along the board, but then you're only making 325 million on your Tet. However, it might be worth making them up to Try yourself if you buy bases, because that's a decent amount of profit. But you could always just stop at Duo at the end of the day. So then we've got 7.7 million profit for Pry Serap's necklace, which is really nice. But the numbers that I really look at are the Tets. So like, if you see the Veltara's Eclipse Belt and the Leighton's Power Stone, both making over 1 billion, and that's with the 490 million reduction there. So that is basically everything on here. Now this here is a bit of maths that I've been working on. I'm going to leave it in. You can use it if you want. So basically, it's a case of you put in the amount of bases that you bought. So let's say I bought 20 bases instead, and I bought 5 Pries, but I only made 3 duos. That's a loss. It's not fully automated, unfortunately, and there's a few things that I need to sort out with it. But I'll leave it in here so you can see what I was doing, basically. So this basically goes, I said basically a lot, but this isn't actually set up correctly from what I just realized. So those bottom two don't do anything. It only takes into account the fact that I got 10 here, so I'd have to, 10 should be this one, and then that one should be this one, and then now that's fully automated. So now if I say, well, actually I only bought 5 bases, I was really lucky, I made 3. So it's basically, that's for the Beltara belt. I was lazy with these ones because the name doesn't really matter. No idea why there's a G there. So that's basically what I was doing with these, working out how much I was making per session, but I've stopped doing that recently. But that's everything. Please, by all means, make a copy, use this for yourself, and I hope you make profit. Thank you for watching. Please like if you haven't already, and subscribe again if you haven't already. It really does help to grow my channel. So thank you for watching. See you next time.